Hey everybody, welcome to the Backstage Slam. It's Josh, right here, live and in person, with the Backstage Slam, episode number 178, the follow-up episode to the WWE Royal Rumble. Ben is experiencing some not-so-wonderful weather, and as we know, when the weather gets rough, so does his internet connection. So I will be flying solo this week to give you my thoughts on the Royal Rumble. But before we get started, let me tell you that you can always find Ben over in the old Twitters at YoBroMMO, and you can find me at SkitComic. And if you want to join our community, it is, on Discord. I'm guessing, look up YoBroMMO on Discord. And that is how you join us and talk about pro wrestling. There are other ways to, reach out, other ways to support what we do, and one of those is our Patreon. I'm sure we have a link somewhere. I'm not usually the one that does that plug, but yeah, I'm sure Ben's tweeted it out. You can check out the Patreon. Got some new things being added to it. Things changing all the time. Make it worth your buck every month. And I guess that all about do it. So, on to the Royal Rumble. I don't know why I said it like that. Usually Ben's here to keep me in check on these kinds of things, so I'm not just off doing my own thing, doing a bunch of voices, Otherwise it's, me saying random things like, oh boy, yeah. Royal Rumble time. First of all, overall, I'm going to say that the Royal Rumble, I think, really delivered this year. Not just the men's Royal Rumble match, but the women's Royal Rumble match really stood out. All the way from the pre-show to the main event, it was a pretty good card. I don't think there was a stinker in the bunch. And I know in this day and age, that could be considered a hot take. The WWE didn't suck. Say it ain't so. You mark. Yeah, I know, right? Starting off with Sheamus and Shorty G. God, I hate that name so much. Shorty G. Shorty G. That is such a terrible name for such a gifted athlete. Shorty G. Can you see it? WWE Champion Shorty G. No, I can't either. But of course, I couldn't see anybody saying WWE Champion Dolph Ziggler either. So maybe I'll get proved wrong on this one once again. But Sheamus beat Shorty G as it should be. But they were able to go 12 and a half minutes and had a pretty, decent match. Sheamus, of course, is going to get, the win here because he's Sheamus. I'm not saying like a derogatory thing. I'm just saying he's the guy that deserves the win because he is the one that they're going to have the time and money invested in. Shorty G, he's going to be a guy that, gives good matches. But unfortunately, whatever this thing is they're doing with him, it is not going to bode well for success, in my opinion. Then we moved on to Andrade and Humberto Carrillo in a match for the U.S. Championship. Just shy of 15 minutes, a little over 14. These guys were able to put on a match. And I know we've been seeing them go at it several times over the last few weeks. But no, this was a good match, man. And I don't know. It seems like they brought something new to the table each time that they went at it. Andrade wins in this situation, although with the things that would come out afterwards, some would, wonder why didn't they just have Humberto take the title off of him? Then that's a head scratcher for me because I don't know. Andrade, of course, getting that 30-day suspension because of wellness violation. I haven't heard specifically why or what he was in violation of, but he, Mr. Charlotte Flair seemed to be was suspended. So why not just have him drop the title to Humberto? I don't know. I picked Humberto, by the way, for the pay-per-view prediction league. And I might be just a tad bit salty about that. Next up, Roman Reigns defeated King Corbin in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And this basically went exactly as a lot of us thought it would here at the Backstage Slam. That's including the community. Because I saw a lot of chatter about not if there will be interference, but how much interference will there be. I did not pick Roman Reigns because of my principles. I can never pick Roman Reigns. It's not a personal thing against Roman. It's just a thing. I can't do it. I can't pick him. And unfortunately, my principle about picking Roman is longer than my King Corbin thing, and I had to pick King Corbin. And we did see, some guys come out and interfere on Corbin's behalf. Then we saw some guys come out and interfere on Roman's behalf, and blah blah blah. Long story short, Roman Reigns beat King Corbin in a match that means basically nothing, but we did get some pretty cool visuals out of it, like the spear. Was it a spear? Yeah, spear from the dugout. That actually looked pretty cool. Next up, we had the 30-woman Royal Rumble match. That was interesting, to say the least. Alexa Bliss came out at number 1, and Bianca Belair came out at number 2. Now, I did not see Bianca coming. I did not see Bianca Belair doing as much as she did. She lasted, I believe it's 33 minutes, 20 seconds, and left 16th, I want to say. I'm not really sure. But she had 8 eliminations. 8! In the women's match. And set a new record for women's eliminations in the Royal Rumble. Bianca Belair, again, out of left field for me. No idea this was going to happen. And Alexa Bliss lasted 26:34. So the first 2 entrants lasted quite a while. Next to come out is Mighty Molly. And she lasted 10 minutes, 21 seconds. Nikki Cross put in a good performance. No eliminations, but 15 minutes, 8 seconds. Lana came out. And then Mercedes Martinez. And then Liv Morgan. Now, Liv eliminated Lana But then Lana came back in and eliminated Liv, so there's that. Liv Morgan lasting all of 44 seconds. Mandy Rose came out at number 8, and she was taken out by Bianca Belair after 8:49. And this is another one of those spots that I didn't see coming. Mandy Rose had basically the Kofi spot. One of the Kofi spots, I guess you could say, because Naomi had her own, which sparked a lot of controversy by itself. But Otis, get that, God bless that man. Mandy Rose goes over the top rope, and somehow Otis manages to roll out, I'm guessing from under the ring, to catch her on the ground. She lands on top of him and manages to keep her feet off the ground. And Otis just lifts her up and puts her back in the ring. And she gets to stay. That was a very clever spot, and I enjoyed it very much. Candice LeRae comes out at number 9. Sonya Deville comes out at number 10. Kairi Sane at 11. Mia Yim. By the way, Alexa Bliss got 3 eliminations. Mandy Rose, 1 elimination. Sonya Deville got 1 elimination. Mia Yim, number 12. Dana Brooke at 13. 14 is Tamina, who shockingly lasts only 39 seconds. Dakota Kai comes out, followed by Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green takes out Dakota Kai in a minute 32. And Chelsea Green is taken out by Alexa Bliss. Chelsea Green's in the match for 12 seconds. Gets Dakota Kai out, and then she's gone. Charlotte Flair comes out at number 17, and then Naomi, if we're going to talk Naomi for a second, and her, her controversial spot. You know what? Let's back it up. Talking about Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, their storyline with Otis continuing. It hit a little bump when Mandy Rose is thrown over the top rope again, and Otis catches her. He just catches her like she's nothing. Just catches her right out of midair, and he's about to go carry her back to the ring when Sonya Deville gets knocked out by Bianca as well, and she lands on top of Mandy, whom Otis is carrying, and it knocks them all down and eliminates them all. Or the both of them. I don't know if this was a very well done spot, or if an accident happened and he was supposed to catch them both. But it did look like legit, like he was trying to catch Sonya also, but just couldn't. Either way, it was great. So bless that man, Otis. He's doing great work. I think that's the long and short of it. He's doing great work. But Naomi, she had her Kofi spot, leaping from the sure elimination, right? And I'm not sure how you would say that she was clinging to the guard wall, the barrier, with her feet on the wall and her hands on the top of the wall, and butt sticking way out. As she tried to shimmy up to the top of it, and got a little pop when she was finally able to regain her standing on top of the like railing there. And people really got irritated by this. She walked along the edge of the barrier and stood on the announce desks for a while. And there was, I guess, another podcast or something that really kind of laid into the spot. You know, why did it take so long? And this, that, and the other. And used very coarse language and very insulting language to describe it. And, you know, word gets around, especially when you post something publicly. And I can't say that I disagree with the sentiment of what these hosts said, but their execution was terrible. I mean, if you have a problem with the spot, there are ways to say that you have a problem with it without resorting to the language and things that they did, especially when you're supposed to be somewhat of a professional. This is why there are people in this medium that make guys like me look bad. Why can't we be critical and respectful at the same time? Well, we can. You know, we can. What did I think of the spot? Yeah, it had some issues. I didn't have a problem with her standing on the tables for like 10 minutes. That was fine. Because she was not eliminated. Right? She had time to rest. She had time to chill. And if you can get that in a Royal Rumble match without being like the person that, you know, rolls under the bottom rope and just lays there for an hour. I'm not trying to name any Romans here. But if you can do that, if you can get that time out in the middle of a Rumble match, that's fine. And I even like the spot where she took the piece of the desk, you know, that cover, and used it as a bridge to get to the steps. Yeah, she could have easily jumped over it, but you know, the bridge was fine. It was creative. It was fine. It was fine. That's all that really matters. It was fine. Was it perfect? No. Was it a great Kofi moment? No. But it was creative. It was fine. So to say anything so, I don't know, disparaging, insulting, or anything like that, it blows my mind. It baffles me. Next up, Beth Phoenix. That's right, Beth Phoenix. She joined in at 19, followed by Toni Storm at 20. Kelly freaking Kelly at 21. Really? Again, I don't want to be disparaging by any means, but Kelly, I'm not sure you even get the nostalgia pop with Kelly. I'm sure she's sweet, but Sarah Logan at 22, Natalya at 23, so Beth and Natalya are in the ring at the same time, and you know what that means? They're teaming up. Zia Lee at 24, Zelina Vega at 25, Shotzi Blackheart at 26, Carmella is 27. Tegan Knox is 28. Here's another another moment that got Twitter in an uproar. Santina Marella. Santina came back. They mentioned it on the broadcast that Houston was the place that Santino won the Women's Battle Royal at the WrestleMania. And this was the perfect place for Beth to get that revenge. But it is 2020, and there were some people that were upset saying that bringing out Santino was a slap in the face to transgendered people everywhere. I don't know. I didn't ask any of the trans people I know. And I really hate to assume that it was. But the way people are saying it, they're saying it was done purposefully to hurt trans people. That this was a slam, a knock against that. And I can't agree. I think it's just Vince McMahon's, sense of humor. Let's bring Santina out, to pop the crowd and, get a joke in as he eliminates himself. Or she eliminates herself. Depending on how far you want to, dive into, the whole in-character thing. I just don't think it was malicious. It might have been in poor taste. In fact, it most probably certainly was in poor taste because, as I've seen other people state, it's a spot that could go to, to other people, to realistic contenders. And then to have that, it didn't take away from the Women's Rumble for me. It didn't. But it did. It kind of left you with, this weird aftertaste, right? Like, just the spot could have gone to somebody else. I appreciate a comedy spot, but if they're going to do that, it should have been probably done much earlier in the match, not at the 29 slot. Just my 2 cents. And at number 30, my pick to win, Shayna Baszler. Imagine the reaction that would have happened if Shayna Baszler won. That would have been killer. But the winner at 27 minutes and 19 seconds was Charlotte Flair. I think it was pretty fair to say the favorite. Sorry, it's been a long day. Now, with Charlotte Flair winning the Royal Rumble, she gets to pick her champion, the champion of her choosing to fight at WrestleMania. A lot of speculation going on right now about who that's going to be. If it's been said on any of the television this week, I don't know. I'm still a little behind, so I don't know if she declared. But there is a lot of speculation about her not challenging Becky and not challenging Bayley. So we'll see what happens. By the way, in the next match, in a hard-to-follow Rumble match, no matter what, it's just hard. And Bayley defeated Lacey Evans in 9:20 to retain the Women's Championship, SmackDown Women's Championship. in a match that was actually really good. The Fiend defeated Daniel Bryan in a strap match to retain the Universal Championship. It was a 17:35, and they put on a killer match. I mean, it's not going to win match of the year, but the creative use that they got out of the strap. I mean, if there were two guys that could pull something like this off in 2020, these guys did. And no red light. There was no red light. None. No red light. That was pretty cool. Now, I had heard, the speculation, why wasn't there a red light? Some people like the red light, but some people don't. So the speculation was that when you're in a strap match, you're kind of looking to see those welts, well up on somebody's skin as the strap smacks it. And you don't get that with red light because the red will drown out the welts. You won't be able to see the strap marks. After that, Becky Lynch defeated Asuka, and retained the Women's Championship. It was a good match. 60 minutes, 25 seconds. Again, nothing crazy, great, nothing to write home about, but, it was good. Sorry, I'm reading over these notes, and that brings up the Men's Royal Rumble. The Men's Royal Rumble. It went 1 hour, 50 seconds. And opened with Brock Lesnar and Elias. Sacrificial lamb. Yeah. We knew a few things about the Rumble going in, especially with Brock Lesnar. He would be a beast. But I don't think anybody really understood the amount of beast there would be in this Royal Rumble. So, Brock Lesnar. Elias comes out, sings a song about, oh yeah, he knows he's going to get his butt kicked and he knows he's going to get eliminated, so let's do it. And he does it. Elias goes out in a minute. And then Eric Rowan comes out. And I know Ben and I, as we were talking, were like, yeah, there's no way Rowan, is going to not make it, right? Rowan's going to give him a fight. Eric Rowan lasts 8 seconds. 8 seconds. Robert Roode comes out at number 4. He lasts 41 seconds. John Morrison, 9 seconds. Kofi Kingston, he gets in there, and he actually manages to stay long enough to have Rey Mysterio come out at number 7, and Big E come out at number 8. Cesaro at number 9, Shelton Benjamin at number 10, Shinsuke Nakamura. MVP came out at number 12. MVP, Montel Vontavious Porter, came out at number 12. And they were all killed by the Beast. Keith Lee comes out. He gets the last 3 minutes and 32 seconds before he's eliminated by Lesnar. Braun Strowman comes out. 1:48. And then Ricochet comes out, and he manages to last 3 minutes and 9 seconds. But here's the thing. Ricochet came out, and he's getting beat up by Brock. He lasts long enough to have Drew come out. Drew McIntyre comes out. And, it's looking hopeless against everybody. Because Brock Lesnar just got 13 straight eliminations. He spent more time in the ring alone than facing an opponent. Brock Lesnar is looking unstoppable at this point. And then Ricochet hits a low blow from behind. And Drew McIntyre hits the Claymore to knock out Lesnar. Drew eliminates Lesnar with just a little bit of assistance from Ricochet. But he did it. He got the big win of the night by knocking out Lesnar. And then he would pick up that dominant torch as The Miz comes out. The Miz lasts 30 seconds. But then AJ comes out. He's in the match for a while. By the way, Brock was in there for 26-24. And, this is where the argument of spectacle versus substance comes into play. You can get everything you need from a match in 30 seconds if you're telling the right story. Brock put in almost 27 minutes in the Rumble. And no, it wasn't 27 minutes of, locks and reverses and flips and this and that and the other. No, it was 27 minutes of Brock Lesnar being Brock Lesnar. And that, I think, does more to help a card than anything. Because it gets you invested into when this guy is eventually eliminated. Drew getting that elimination was a huge deal. Why? Because he just knocked out 13 straight. 13 in, 13 out. The 14th and 15th guy had to sort of work together to get him out. So yeah, it's a big deal. AJ Styles at number 18. Dolph Ziggler at 19. Carl Anderson. I mean, don't get me wrong, nothing against Carl Anderson, but why does he need to be in the Rumble? It's at number 21. Number 21, we probably got the biggest story of the night. Edge. Edge makes his return to WWE at number 21. And, well, we'll get to that in a minute. King Corbin at number 22 gets taken out by Drew McIntyre. Matt Riddle lasts 41 seconds. 41. They bring Matt Riddle out for a cup of coffee, and then he's gone. Luke Gallows got to last for 2 minutes. Randy Orton came out. We saw a little rated RKO action. And then Roman Reigns comes out. Yeah. The favorite. If anybody was the favorite, it was him. But I didn't pick him because principles. 27, Kevin Owens comes out. 28, Aleister Black. 29, Samoa Joe. And then finally at number 30, the number 30 spot, while everybody's waiting with bated breath for CM Punk, Seth freaking Rollins. The Monday Night Messiah comes out, and with his crew, they wreck shop and start eliminating people left and right. They roll tight, and they made things easy for Seth Rollins to win. The only problem is they don't. Because Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, and Edge, well, they dumped him pretty quick. The final three: Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, and Randy Orton was 27th, eliminated. Edge is 28th. So Randy Orton, Edge, Roman Reigns, and Drew, right? Edge eliminates Orton because he feels like, oh, it's Randy Orton. He's the Viper. He's going to turn his back on me at any point in time. And then I'm going to lose, so I better strike first. So he gets rid of him. He gets rid of Orton. And that leaves Edge, Roman, and Drew. Edge being the odd man out here, he gets taken out by Roman. Not something you want to do, really, if you're trying to keep people liking Roman. But just my little thought there. He eliminates the returning hero. Then that leaves Roman and Drew. It reminds me of when Shinsuke won, where everyone's like, "Oh, it's gonna be Roman again." Wait, they might pull the trick. No, it's gonna be Roman, but they might do it. No, and then yes, they did the thing. They did the thing you wanted them to do, and they had Roman Reigns fail to win the Royal Rumble, being the last man eliminated, making Drew McIntyre the winner. And just to follow up, I did catch some of Monday Night Raw, and I know that Drew was very quick to call out Brock Lesnar for his WrestleMania match. So, looks like we're going to see Drew and Brock at Mania. And personally, I think this seems like a good match. That was the Royal Rumble, boys and girls. Can't believe I just went, 40 minutes all by my lonesome without old Benny. Hopefully Benny will be back next weekend as we talk other stuffs when it comes to wrestling and the road to WrestleMania. In the meantime, my name is Josh. This has been the Backstage Slam episode 78. I guess all that's left to say is,